May the peace of Christ be with you. We're continuing a set of brief presentations regarding the promises that were made at baptism that we will reaffirm in confirmation. Here we go. When I was growing up, there was a television preacher who was on the screens every Sunday morning. The organ music would start to swell up at the very beginning of the show, and he would give his biggest, toothiest smile, opening his arms in a wide open embrace of everything around him, and he would speak in his fullest, most resounding voice. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. And you believed it as soon as you heard it. You believed it because you knew he believed it. He believed it on his very best days, and he believed it on his very worst. Most challenging, awful day. It was a recitation from the book of Psalms 118. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. What God has made. Well, that's an interesting statement. Think about it. What do you recognize as the stuff that God has made? And you might suggest something that God didn't make that we human folks did make. Like a sandwich. But if you track back all the ingredients, peanuts, butter which comes from cows, raspberries, grains, and oats which make bread, you still can see God's work in a sandwich. Maybe that should be our new lunch prayer. This is a sandwich the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Well, you heard of God and creation before. It's the very first thing we find in the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. God created waters and the sky and the earth and the sea, vegetation, plants, and fruit, and soon moon and day and night. God filled the waters and the sky with all sorts of living creatures and things, giant sea monsters. Check it out. It's in some translations in the Bibles. And winged birds. Then God filled the land with tame animals, crawly things. Yuck, I hate those. And every kind of wild animal. Finally, God got around to us, making us, according to Genesis 1:27, God made us in God's own image, male and female, and we were created. And God surveyed everything all around, everything that God had created, and states, it's all very good. Everything, you and me, on the best days and even on our worst, our most challenging, awful days, it's all very good. The world can't just be by chance. Someone, something, somehow, it was designed to all work together. The universe started with a big bang, but what caused that? There seems to be universal truth and laws, like gravity. But how and why? That's all the big stuff, but help me explain the intricate stuff like DNA. And finally, deep down, there's something inside of us that still leads us to God. Blaise Pascal, a mathematician, once suggested, what else does all this craving, all this helplessness proclaim but that there once was in man true happiness, of which all that now remains is empty print and trace. This suggests a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every person, and it can't be filled by any created thing. It only can be filled by God. St. Augustine describes it this way: you've made us for yourselves, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it finds its rest in you. When we make our profession of faith at confirmation, and we repeat our baptismal vows in our own voices, we are invited to acknowledge that there is a God who created everything, including us, and that creation is very good. This is a day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. A couple questions are going to pop up on the screen here. Please pause it and take a look at these questions as a start and a continuation of the conversation. Hope you enjoy this day that God's made.